Hey everybody, and welcome to our newest Showdown installment. I went back to doing a nice team preview for you guys because I've never played NatDex OU except one time I had this team with Latios and it was pretty stally and scummy and that. Now, there are a couple iterations this team has gone through. I'm not sure how many iterations are in this video. But this video features, you guessed it, the fluff is not enough with Mega Altaria. Weavile's a surprise set, some pretty cool stuff with Lando. Magma Storm Taunt Heatran, really interesting Ferrothorn, and choice Banded Kartana. Let's go ahead and get into it. Thank you guys for the support. Almost 3K views in less than 30 days. Sorry for the longer intro. Thank you guys for the support, and let's hop into it. Alright guys, the first game we have Heatran leading off against Clefable. Let's jump right into it and see how it went down. I apologize, we're going to try something a bit different today with the recordings because I actually recorded the actual file, so we'll see how that works out. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and taunt the Clefable. The Clefable's going to use Trick. This is a really interesting Clefable set, you'll find out. So I go for Stealth Rocks on this oncoming Heatran. As he goes for his Stealth Rocks, I go for Body Press. I'm actually not carrying Earth Power on this Heatran set, so I make a double in Altaria, predicting his obvious Earth Power or Earthquake, and Altaria doesn't care about any of that. I get burned, but that's completely okay because we've got that lovely natural cure. I'm going to go for Moonblast just to weaken it down just a bit as he goes out into Corviknight to eat some rocks. That's completely fine with Defog because I'm just going to take this opportunity to roost up. I don't believe on this first battle that I have the set for the Altaria. I'm going to make a double out now into Landorus Theory and get the Intimidate off as he makes a safe U-turn pivot into his Rillaboom. Now, Rillaboom is kind of terrifying. I do have Hidden Power Fire, though. He doesn't know that at this point. So I'm going to double out into Ferrothorn as he goes for a Swords Dance. I should have gone hard into Lando right here on that Superpower, but it's fine. He gets a defense drop, and he gets damaged by both Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet, plus Life Orb. Now, he is back up to 68 after this. Now, I guess I don't understand how this works. I was actually going to go straight away for an Ice Shard, and he knows this. But on this first set, I have the Adrenaline Orb Weavile. Now, guys, before you start saying stuff, so this is set up to counter Landorus Therian. Although the Ice Beam, of course, is negligent damage here against the Clefable, as you'll see. The whole thing is to hit Tyranitar, hit Landorus, and then just do some residual damage. So he tricks me a Sticky Barb to give me some damage offensively as I burn him, which is irrelevant because of Magic Guard. And he knocks me off, which, I mean, he could just soft-boiled this anyway. He takes his item back, his Sticky Barb, as I go out to Kartana. Now, Kartana being paralyzed is kind of whatever. I kind of figured this Clefable might have some fire coverage. He goes out to Corviknight, but he does not take Choice Banded Sacred Sword well at all. Now he goes out to Slowbro. Now keep in mind, guys, I do have Banded Knockoff on this set, so I can hit this Slowbro relatively hard. This Slowbro sets up a Sunny deck. Okay, that's cool. He teleports out into Houndoom here. Solar Power Mega Houndoom is nothing to play around with as this Sludge Bomb does 64% to my Calm Mega Altaria. Now, the Toxic Residual is going to be helpful in wearing him down with the Solar Power. I make a double out into Heatran, predicting him to go for a Fire move, but of course, he's not going to, or predicting him to go for Sludge Bomb. Makes a fantastic prediction going for Dark Pulse. Now, luckily at this point, worn down after the Toxic and the Solar Power, I'm just going to sub because Weavile is naturally faster. And what's going to happen here is the Solar Power is going to hurt him on that turn, and he goes for the Toxic. And, of course, now, I don't know how he outsped me on this turn. We might be at speed time. I'm not sure how that works at all. I feel like Weavile's definitely faster, but as you know, I don't know my speed tiers. Anyway, now I'm going to bring in Lando versus this thing. And I predicted him to go hard out into Corviknight or Rillaboom. I'm not sure why. Oh, no. I predicted him to go to Corviknight, predicting Earthquake. So I went Weather Ball Fire. Of course, that didn't happen. But guess what? I got Hidden Power Fire as well. So I can cover this as well. He goes for Roost. And that's pretty relevant because he can just continually roost off these hits. I know I can't bring him down to range. I want to bring him down to range for possibly Kartana to hit him. So I go for a couple Rock Slides. He just roosts that off as well. There's really nothing I can break this Corviknight down with. The Weather Ball Fire turn was so prevalent. It would have been fantastic to wear this thing down and not have to deal with it at all. But we didn't have that option, unfortunately. Hidden Power Fire doesn't do anything at all as he goes back out into Slowbro, and I take this opportunity to pivot into Mega Altaria, sacrificing to get a safe switch into Kartana. Now, I am indeed going for Banded Knockoff, most absolutely. He goes into this Banded Knockoff with a Corviknight and takes 54%. And Kartana, even paralyzed, still outspeeds Corviknight. We get the Beast Boost. He brings in Heatran, and I know he will barbecue this thing. So, I'm not sure what that whole play was, other than the fact I got Corviknight out of the way. So now Landorus Therian, knowing that this thing's not Scarfed, I could take him out with an Earthquake. I just gotta bring Slowbro down to the point that I can take him out. In comes a Rillaboom, he goes for the Grassy Glide and takes me down. Again, the Weather Ball turn is so relevant on that one, and guys, leave your comments and stuff down below. As always, if you like this show, if you like what we're kicking in today's show, drop a comment down below and let me know. We're gonna go ahead and go into the second game versus Kawaii from Alola. Now, I'm not sure if we came from Alola because Urshifu is definitely not from Alola, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and get this battle started off. It is Heatran versus Urshifu. I know I can't take anything from this thing. He goes close combat and completely takes out my Ferrothorn. I was so scared of Surging Strikes, I wanted to stack the Iron Barbs along with my Rocky Helmet. T-Tar versus Altaria got a swap into Landorus Therian to handle this. Make a double. He makes a double into Urshifu. I'm assuming he predicted me to go for Rocks so that he could come in with Choice Scarf Surging Strikes, which was also pretty brilliant. I'm not sure what he wanted to go for, but I do sack Heatran. He does die to the Sandstorm and gets in Excadrill. So now I go Lando Therian, and this is so perfect. Hidden Power, Weather Ball Rock on the oncoming Moltres, predicting the Earthquake. Got him! Now he's going to bring in Manaphy here, and Manaphy versus Kartana, he sets up a Z Rain Dance. So Kartana cannot take that. He did crit. I'll leave the damage count below down in the description because I really need to hit this thing with a Grass Attack. Anyways, this is where, I'm not sure if I swap the moveset to Toxic Moonblast, but he's just going to go for some Hydration shenanigans, and he can easily set up on me with Tail Glow. So that is very unfortunate. Tail Glow Manaphy is a huge threat, and I'm going to speed this part up a little bit, go through a couple turns of boosted Surfs. Can't take that. The Dark Pulse, it flinches a couple times, doesn't do anything fantastic. And Lando goes down in Game 2 from Kawaii from Alola. Now, I'm not sure how Manaphy nor Urshifu came from Alola, but hey, maybe it's his favorite generation. Alright, so now we're on the very last game in this series versus Aquavale. I love that name. So let's go ahead and get into it versus Aquavale. He's leading with a Coconut Doggy, so you know you're in for a good time. We're going to go ahead and go into Mega Altaria. He goes 1,000 waves. I don't think I've ever seen this attack, ever. It just makes it where I can't escape. He's going to set up a coil and go for some accuracy stuff, and I'm not feeling that. I do feel like he has rest in the last slot. Zygarde do tend to carry coil and rest together. Go for a couple Cotton Guards just to kind of figure out what he's trying to go, what he might be up to here. A couple Cotton Guards. I only have to use 2 of those because it does boost the defense by 3. I actually didn't know that myself. It's been a long time since I've used Cotton Guard. The last time was back when Cotton Guard Banette was an actual event Pokemon. But that being said, guys, Extreme Speed not going to do anything at all. And this Toxic Residual is wearing down the Coconut Doge. So he goes out into Sands. Now, I know for a fact I could take a boosted Head Smash at 19, Toxic this Sands, and that's just fantastic. He sets up some Dragon Dances, and I'm just not fearing anything from this thing. Head Smash is very, very strong, but Cotton Guard is amazing. I go out to Lando. I'm not sure why. I really had no reason to sacrifice a +6 defense, but I just didn't want to be lame, guys. So he goes out to, he goes for Dragon Claw. He takes Rocky Helmet and Iron Barbs damage and Poison damage, so he's at 28. I make a double into Heatran, predicting the possible Dragon Claw. And I miscalculate the Toxic, thinking he would die at 31, and then I make a double into Altaria, forgetting that it lost its flying typing in Mega Evolution. So I do take an Earthquake, but I don't take it too badly. He goes into, I'm assuming, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon reference, and he sets up an Agility. So there must be some kind of Swellow boss battle in Mystery Dungeon that I'm not aware of. He goes for a Boom Burst, and I am not sure if he has Heat Wave on his set, but I do hit him and get through the confusion from the Hurricane to hit him with that Gyro Ball. He goes into Jack the Ripper. I intimidate him, and Knock Off still does a pretty good amount of damage. I do have the Hidden Power Fire on Monkey time. Go for it. It's a nice 43. He does gain Leftovers plus... Oh, he just gains Leftovers. So I'm going to go out to my Ferrothorn to die to a Drain Punch, which is going to offset his healing that he got from his Leftovers because he takes Life Orb damage and all the other good stuff. Now I'm going to go out to my Weavile, and as he sets up a Protect, I'm going to Z-Mega here for the Sub-Zero Slammer, and that does a ton of damage, bringing him down to 10. I'm going to go back out into Altaria, predicting him to go for either Drain or Grassy Glide. I take very little from that. This is a free Roost opportunity, guys. This is free. He goes Drum Beating, and I just decide to Roost off this as he gets a speed drop, or as I get a speed drop. And then, of course, as he goes for another Protect, I can just go for a double Roost, and there's nothing that I can't take from this Monkey time. So he goes into Chestnut, and this is where I started my Flamethrower Toxic setup. He sets up a Bulk Up on D's Nuts, and I'm just going to roast D's Nuts. I don't quite roast him, though. He does live on 2%, 14 after Leftovers, and then another Flamethrower will indeed take him out. He's going to go back out into this thing, and I feel a Steel or a Grass move is incoming. Goes for the Leaf Blade, predicting the Lando. Gets a 2-hit KO with Leaf Blade, even after the Intimidate. So now he's going to get a Beast Boost for the Attack Raise, and Altaria can definitely take a Leaf Blade. I use Choice Bandit, allowing me to take him out with a Flamethrower, and that is so relevant. In comes his last mon, the Zygarde. Zygarde going to go for the Extreme Speed, but it's not quite enough after I Roost off that damage, and now I can easily just Roost stall his Toxic. So now I go out into my Kartana. I apologize, he's still got the Rillaboom at 10% health. I'm going to go out into my Kartana here, make a double back into Weavile to eat 1,000 waves, which was a horrible play, because this thing actually beats me out with Extreme Speed against Ice Shard, so Doge is really fast. Doge dies to Toxic, going down to his Rillaboom versus my Altaria, and we already know who comes out on top here. Drum Beating does a nice chunk of damage with the Grassy Terrain and drops my speed, but the Life Orb or the Flamethrower would have taken this battle down. Thank you guys so much for watching, and an extra special thanks to my supporters and new subscribers. Thank you, Kira, for subscribing. And I think there was one other person. Let me go look really quick. There were some new subscribers I wanted to shout out. I wanted to do it at the end of every video because I want you guys to know you guys are appreciated, okay? So, let's see. WMR Pigniter, Cherry Blossom and Warriors, Kiraki Show 7, and then, of course, I never shouted out Brit and Zane. Thank you guys. They were from last time. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and checking out the videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.